الوداع يا رمضان، السلام عليك يا شهر رمضان.
السلام عليك يا شهر الصيام. الوداع السلام عليك يا شهر تراويح. السلام عليك يا شهر تراويح. السلام
أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. On this beautiful يوم الأحد الذي يوافق يوم 29 من 9 1446 هجري والموافق 30 مارس من 2025. وفقكم الله وأضم أجركم إن شاء الله تعالى. وتقبل الله منا ومنكم صالح الأعمال. It is, mashallah, tabarakallah, ahlan wa sahlan. It is the 29th. It is the final day. We may as well term it the fact that whether the crescent is going to be visible or not, mere fact that Makkah is having Eid today, there's no way we're not going to have Eid tomorrow. Okay, it's just how the cosmos is. It's just plain and simple. There's no two moons in the earth. There's only one moon and one sun. And Allahu Akbar, may Allah bless those brothers and sisters in the world that is feasting this beautiful moment of the beginning. It was not the end. Shawwal is the beginning of a great metamorphosis, a great spiral into a new conscious of a reality that is unfolding in a bionic restitution. This is the expropriation of new lands in your lives. Okay, people, land is inside. Okay, land is what is always your sovereign rights. Okay, that's divine. That is commonwealth in your disposition as a soul tribe. Okay, whilst your adversary had taught you the maritime laws and jurisdictions, you had been framed in a limited exposition of who you are. And many of you have been fighting over the land. And if you only know what was the agenda of the 1994 disposition, okay, how come you are still stuck in that same era, and why they are repeating that initiation back into your lives? Because the white supremacy and this kind of dogma, it is just dogma, people, because you are being caught off guard because you have forfeited your sovereign identities. Okay, you have lost your authentic, original, organic connection with Allah, with the real Allah, with the organic God. You have found a God that you have resisted. You have replaced that Allah. You have challenged that Allah. You have actually been thinking, how come Allah is not helping the people in Palestine, the people in Bosnia, the people in Ukraine? Where is that God? Okay, it's by time that you come to realize that that was the shirk that you were performing in your lives. That was why you didn't get a response of a dead God, because you are associated to shirk, okay, to ascribing partners unto your gods. Okay, you must come to terms with what shirk is, people. Okay, this is very important for your new civilization, because many of our fathers and our grandfathers, they have no hand in our lives today. Okay, we cannot pass a judgment on something that had no relevance in our new now. Okay, so mashallah tabarakallah, according to our script, according to our soul tribes itinerary, each soul tribe's itinerary differs. Like, that's why the ancestors, they never used to accept a moon that was not sighted with a naked eye, because they wanted to be present. They didn't want to live in an ego conscious in another country, whilst their body is in another country. That's the two-state solution that many of us have found ourselves in this cosmic transition. Okay, it's important at this moment in our lives that we need to really come to terms with the fact that a civilization was abrupted, and it was dismantled. A psychology, a science, a mathematics, your calculations, all that psychology that you have been building in and over the last 100 or 200 years of a civilization, it was null and void in COVID, people. Okay, and we are telling you exactly what is happening in the heavens, not in the Jahannam, people. You and I are trapped in a dark dungeon, and we have no access to clean water. Okay, clean water you can only find tajri min tahti al-anhar. You can only find clean water above, not where you are stuck in a chemicalized bionic virtual reality. That is the gods that has been controlled by yourselves, okay? And that we have been printing and valuing and given our wealth status through a god, a idol, idoler, I god, okay? We as your children, we already know that you are idolaters, you are idolatrous. We know that. We cannot understand how could you have given us a false identity. We as the new incoming children generation, we are telling the father of Ibrahim, okay? We are Ibrahim and the father, the patriarch, okay? The patriarch age that was destroyed by Allah's hands, when we closed the mosque and the churches, okay? We saw the parents, we saw them doing it. We saw them killing the God that they told us we should never turn our backs, where they turned their backs on that God. Okay? This was scripted, man. This was scripted. If only you could know that your children will now write down in the books of history how Allah destroyed their patriarch ages. Okay? We cannot come to terms with it because we cannot leave the dungeon. We cannot escape the reality that is now going to gush into our psychology, because everything that we've done is now going to be implode. It's going to be reflection, because you and I, people, are now going to understand who we are. Okay, you've been living a simulation of 50, 100 years in an ego conscious. And now this whole thing is being disrupted, and a new psychology is now going to reverse engineer whatever you believe was you and your gods and your civilization. That's going to show to you now yourself. You're going to see, hi, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror psychologically, and you're going to say, hi, was this me? Could I have gone so low? Could I have been so worse? Alles van die veiligheid gaan gewas word buitekant nou. Because when you don't clean your washing inside, you have to be exposed. That's the nature of where you're going through from the day to day. We call this day to day Chinan. We call it Irisha. It's an exposure of a new cycle that comes in if you had not done your inner work, your shadow work. If you didn't do it, if you didn't know what was your problem, if you don't know where the disease was, if you don't know where the disruptions was, as jy nie geweet het waar is die donkerte nie, as jy nie geweet het waar is jy gelos, where you became disconnected to Allah, to the real Allah, not the false Allah, not the fake, artificial, intelligent Allah, the real Allah I'm speaking about, not the Allah that you think, the Allah that you know. Okay, that's the difference. Now, who are artificial will see themselves for who they are. Those who are divine, nobody will see them, because this is their time where they remain secured. They secluded and secured. We humans don't come here to see other humans. You were just caught up in the Hollywood spike and virus, okay? Where you think that you have to believe in people that becomes famous because they act and you pay them to act, but you still believe that they are moral fiber, okay? Even your governments, people, your royal families, your royal dynasties, it's all illusions in Jahannam. Okay, if you are looking for a example, if you are looking for the true reality of your evolution in life, that was just a pass by, people. You don't get stuck in artificial pyramids. Okay, those finally dynasties that God destroyed and leaving them in barracks, desert lands today. Okay, they were the brothers of Yusuf that buried Yusuf. Okay, you are just not understanding your book because you are being given your God from an exported agent. Okay, that's why most of you don't know God. Most of you don't know Allah. You have an artificial intelligent God. Okay, it's a problem for you. Why? Why is it a problem for you? Because your children will tell you, in the new next to come, that you are a mushrik. That is by Allah's word. That is how it is. It's not an easy thing for you to accept in your life, but you're going to hear it from your children's mouth that you bred and fed because you didn't want to give them the actual truth. Okay? People, we are now coming to the end of this beautiful, the beginning. I'm not going to call it the end. We don't believe in end. Religions believe in ends. Eternity in the soul tribe, we believe in beginnings. Okay? Religions can tell you about the end, but they can't tell you about the beginning because they have been prohibited by the heavens to lead people into a next age because they are the cause for people to be destroyed in the last age. Okay? All religions. There is no exception to it. Must find your deen. Your deen is from your ancestors. They know the original chemistry has been placed in your DNA. You cannot find it anywhere else. You cannot find it in books. You have to activate it in yourself. No. Kan ek vir julle sê julle geheime sodat die next 1000 jaar die kinders op die it's going to be a digital age that we are in a digital technocratic lifestyle modulation for the next generations. Okay, those that has been born in the post 1994 and 2000, the millenniums. Okay, the Z generation, the G generation, the whichever generation you want to term them to be. But what is important now is that your orientations, your cultural orientations, okay? Die pastei wat gegooi gewees het eier op. Okay? Die eier gekook net in Labaran. This comes on already 1,000,000 years in our culture. Okay? Dit het gekom van Islam, dit het gekom van Christianity, dit het gekom van die Arab world, dit het gekom van Malayne, dit het gekom van ons voorvaders, ons moeders, en hulle het vir ons 'n boodskap gelalos daarin, because whatever they insit, it's who you are. Okay? You are your ancestors in this age, in this timeline, but just because you have been you have been trialed and tested, and many of you has flunked the test. That's basically what it comes down to here. Okay, you found gods, you found other gods, you found gods which you called Allah, but they were not Allah. They were shirk gods. They were idol gods. You idolized gods. Okay. You must be told these things because this is not what the ancestors brought into our culture. Okay? Hulle het gebring die pastei met die eier. Daai eier moet geraspe gewees het, broers, en daai kan net gebak gewees het agter Maghrib op die labarang, ou labarang aan. Vanaand roep hulle ou labarang aan. Okay? This, people, is how the message of the steaking kidney pie deurgekom het op die ding, right? No other culture ever could speak the kidney, because we knew the kidney before we saw the kidney, because we tasted the kidney. Okay, so we knew that there was communication happening internally between the liver and the two kidneys. Okay, today, people, with all due respects, most of your kidneys has been invaded, occupied, chemicalized. Meeste van ons, as 'n mens kyk hoe hulle doodgaan nowadays, die kidneys begin te net op te pak. You know, it gaan nou net because how you have idolized other gods. You have left your divine, natural, divine Allah, and you forfeited it for other gods. Now your organs are miscommunicating because it has been violated, occupied by foreign agents. Okay, you were kept in hostage. Okay, under the ground, in the tunnel visions het hulle gekry. Okay, all because you lost your authenticity and you do not know how your psychology has been eroded and been replaced by a digital. Digital is digital. Okay, julle glo alles wat julle sien in 'n queue. Okay, four corners. Daarvoor die maqam. Daar's niks rusul en anbiya wat gaan kom nou nie. Is maqam. It's now how you will elevate in your expansion of seeing into your journey, your understanding of the universe that cosmologically functions internally. Okay? It's it's sad for me as a human being in this earth, because I know where we come from and I know how we have lost our path and how many of us don't even know we are lost, okay, in the forest, okay. You feel justified because you are following certain cults. We are not here to cause a cult, people. Ons is hier om enige iets nie te bring nie. Die ding was altyd hier gewees. We are just reminding each other. Dis die ding wat aangaan hierso. You have been falsified, given falsified gods, fraudulent communication with idols that is in a queue. Okay, 360 idols. This year has 360 days. Okay, each day is an idol because you are living from the day into the night. You're not living from the dark into the light. So your psychology has been reverse engineered. You cannot find akhirah, whilst those who were liberated since 2020 and now on the 6th Ramadan, ma baina Ramadan wa Ramadan kafara. Okay, so most of your so-called governments and your religious fraternity, they didn't make it, people. They drowned in this ambush and this invasion. They have no idea where they are. They have appointed themselves, and now they don't have the truth, and they are misleading you further into the dark. Okay, all religions, all sharias, all was cancelled. There's nothing that remains after COVID. Okay, you have to remodule, recreate the narrative, because you cannot use the God that you killed. You've got to find a new God definition of divinity, because since you closed your most senior or your most strongest portal of communication with a God in your civilization, when you close it yourself, you kill your definition, physiologically and psychologically, metaphysically, spiritually, everything. So we as children, we know what the actual thing was, but we are like, oh, wat het nou met ons pa gebeur en hoe het hy nou nie die boodskap gekry van Allah nie? Wat het hy dan dis gekonnekt? That is what happened here, people. Now, amal haluk no, because hulle weak. You see, your conscious never dies. Now, your conscious is all, it doesn't even sleep, because the conscious is your collective, God's mind. That's the highest conscious that is on the planet. Okay? So since COVID, because the body, we live in a body, people. Let's get this out of the box here. We all live in a body, one body. وَمَا خَلْقُكُمْ وَلَا بَعْثُكُمْ إِلَّا كَنَفْسٍ وَاحِدَةٍ. All of us are only living in one body. Okay? The previous body was, it died. The previous body could not sustain the chemical and the unnatural yani, cycle yani, that had made them yani, enslaved us. Okay, it had brought the worst. Yani, وَإِذَا الْوُحُوشُ حُشِرَتْ. Okay, وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ عَلِمَتْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ وَأَخَّرَتْ. You and I are there, but dis amper soos niemand weet dit nie, because julle weet dan is die kiyama nie. Kiyama was nog nooit as jy dood is, die kiyama as jy, but when the body we lived in before COVID, we all lived in that body. The ruh of that body was extracted and a new ruh was given. That's what Allah speaks cosmologically in the Quran. There was no history. There was no prophets, people. Prophets. There was only prophets. Okay, nobody of you saw a prophet. Julle glo net by julle weet nie wat aangaan in die samaa nie. A prophet never dies, people. He's always alive in Allah's philosophy, in Allah's vision, in Allah's wisdom. But Allah will only give you access to that when you are submitted. When you submitted. Qalu aslamna. So most of us are running on a false digital identity here on this dimension, because your adversary is not supposed to tell you that there is a new age, a new cosmological transition, physiological, metaphysical, psychological, everything is new in this age, because it's coming to host the new child, the Ghulamun Alim, the smart child. Okay, so at this moment in time, you have to understand that you are the misconnection of the next generation. So what does the heavens do to you? The heavens chucks you out of the cycle, because you are going to mess up the next 500 generations that's supposed to come through you. So you are now going to get the accolade that your next generations will call you a mushrik. This is how the system works, people. Hulle kan nie dua maak vir julle nie. Hulle moet vir julle curse, because you led them into something which was it was a witch hunt. Until now, you then don't know where Allah is. You then don't know where Jannah is. Sy glo soos 'n ou papagaai. But is dit nie reg dat jy met jou kinders sê, at least sy gaan niemand is gaan ek dood inshallah. Maar kan sy dan nie jou kinders sê waar moet hulle vir jou sê nie? Hoekom? Because Allah het nie vir jou gesê dit nie. Nou, hoekom het Allah nie vir jou gesê dit nie? Because jy was besig met 'n nog 'n God, man. Verstaan jy nie wat aangaan hier nie? Dis donkerte wat julle kinders ingesit het. Now, Allah is not unfair, people. If you messed up, your child is not going to have carry the blame of that. He can't, because وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةُ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى. You will just be gladly replaced with their spiritual, with their soul tribe, their real tribe, because this is the ayam, the yom and the age of Ishaq. Nou hy pies, ons ding nou weer van 'n lekker pies, broers. You see the eier. The eier's got to do with the chicken. The hoender, okay? Hy hoender is a symbol of new life, right? Die geel van die eier, okay? En moet geraspe gewees het, because het gaan moes nou breek in die mag, verstaan? This is a unique trademark of your culture. It's unique. We already claimed it, yeah. We already took sovereign possession of the ancestral cultural wisdom, because it's spiritual. It's connected in a spiritual way, because most of you, 99% of you, don't understand who is the tribes that you come from. You are still looking for a physical man that died, whilst you're supposed to find your metaphysical connection. Kom soek sê vir iemand wat dood is, want niemand suppose om dood te gaan nie. Your bodies has to go through their natural order, but your conscience can never die. But because the Europeans het vir julle op 'n rope gehou, nou soek julle vir iemand wat nooit weer terug lewendig te kom nie, because Earth is it's a trial dimension, it's an illusional dimension, people. Julle dit gaan maak permanent in julle pursue for challenging a God. So what happened in the COVID age is that this is a cycle. It's no natural cycles. Just that the ifrit min al jinn. Okay, as julle die Quran verstaan. Okay, as julle I'm saying this to the new generation. They're gonna understand this Quran. Okay, Surah An-Naml, the ifrit, when he says, kyk hierso, ek gaan vir die mense 'n kop aan sit nou. Dat hulle nooit kan weet wie hulle is nie, en hulle sal nooit weet wie Allah is nie. Ek gaan vir hulle 'n artificial mind gee en 'n intelligent system gee dat hulle nooit kan uit daai bubble uitpas nie. Okay. Now 99% of you have been caught up in that bubble. WhatsApp is intelligence. It's a application that is artificial intelligence, because something that is artificial is talking to you, tells you what's your password, please delete. It's an artificial mechanism that is regulating you as an unorganic species after your post human transition. Okay, you are not human anymore. You are alien to the human fraternity, to the soul fraternity. That's the difference, people. That's the split. That's the natural split in your psychology and in your evolution. Okay? Daarvoor, die eier wat Mima gegooi het op die steak en kidney, die was 'n wajib geweest, broers. Daar's niks compromise daar op die as die mense, as die manne van Hanko die takbir maak by ons huise en so in die dorp, dan gaan Mima vir hulle gee 'n stukkie van Mima se pastei. Verstaan, broers? Daar is 'n geheim in dit. What you consider sacred, we consider a secret. But we don't disclose the secret because you're not from the tribe that should be knowing the secret. So you make it sacred because you're only following blindly. Okay? You must know the truth. You're not. Julle ken nie vir my nie, ek ken nie vir julle nie. Ek gaan nie, julle gaan die video sien nog 1000 jaar in die round. Okay, but it's for the soul tribes, because in this journey, in this Isra, as we depart from the old, dilapidated, destroyed civilization, the Qarya, alladhi ahlakat, that was destroyed on the hands of the last generation before COVID, that lifestyle modulations has been exposed in the heavens. Okay. The body was vrot geweest, soos ons altyd gesê het. And now we are coming at the time after 6 years now that you went through a dramatic metamorphosis. Okay? People, everything was made, was disbanded. Alles wat 'n illusion gewees het, the money that you believe, the idol, the idolatrous, the money, the monetary system, it's all fictional realities that you only believe it's true, but you can't possess. If you soul, you can realize you cannot be Fir'aun. You cannot be Fir'aun in a Muslim. You can't let something own you. You got to use a new bar system, not the British accreditation system. You live under that law jurisdiction. So obviously that rules the Jahannam. That is how you become Jahannam compatible, and you have to be subservient to that God. Okay? Most of us are mushrikun. Wallahi. Ista'id billah, because you don't know that you are a mushrik. I don't know, but I'm telling you people now where you are, because you are not awoken to the web of the psychology that you have been spun into. We are coming from the cave age. Verstaan julle wat ek sê? Die cave ages, julle glo dat iets het gebeur in 'n cave. Okay? But actually what is happening here is that you are coming out of your cage. Your children are coming out of the cage that you had kept them isolated from the truth. Okay? They are now artificial, virtual subjects that are being run by a digital world. Okay? That you have no heart for that child. Okay? You threw him gratis into that dungeon. Okay? Niks ouer wat 'n hart het doen die aan 'n mens. Okay? Niks God wat lief is vir sy kinders gaan hy approve nie. Okay? So know by there that you have been substituted. وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَكُونُوا أَمْثَالَكُمْ. People, I'm not doing this to antagonize you. Whatever you will come to understand in this new age, it's only about the psychology that you have been fraudulently misguided into. You are angry at someone. You can't be angry at someone. You're only angry at yourself. The anger is not on the outside. The anger is on the inside. Okay? You want to keep yourself breakerig. Say is wys vir niemand anders but yourself. What a fool you are. Okay? You think you are the only one that's right. You're not. You are showing the world how righteous you are. Okay? You don't need a religion to know what is right and wrong. You need to know yourself. Okay? So most of you, through your religious persuasions and dogma, whichever religion, we can't be biased anymore and say, net ek is reg en die Christens almal in Jahannam, net die Muslims is verkeerd en almal anders. That's nonsense in this age now, because our children has crossed the border. There is no borders where they are living. They are speaking to anybody. They don't know the person's identity anymore, because it's not what they say, it's what they see now. Okay? The internet, the AI, is the future of the civilization. And whoever has a footprint in this age, this is where the reality is, people. There's no more reality where you are. That was destroyed in the COVID. In the last 6 years, toe moet julle nog gaan vind uit hoekom het julle moeder gemaak op 'n labarangoggend soutvleis. Waar kom die gedagte van soutvleis? What was the wisdom? What was the insight? Now, if you are from the tribe, okay, from the authentic tribes, then that die klein kinders ken al hoekom moet meme gemaak het tyd en hoekom moet dere gekry hy presekoeke vir hy om te en dit kook al van die nagal koeke tot na die oggend, because as dere opstaan vir Fajr en die takbirs gaan nou broers, dan moet ons almal staan nou om die tafel en dan moet ons kyk. Ons is mos gemaak van sout, man. Soutwater. As hy huil en sy proe jou trane, as hy sweet en sy proe hy sweet, wat is dit? Souterig. Hoekom is dit souterig? Because in sout is daar lewe, broers. Okay? Nou ons voorvaders vir 1 miljoen jaar het geweet hoekom op 'n labarang moet sy eet op 'n leemag soutvleis. Okay? We have a lot that you don't know, but because you migrated from the original, authentic DNA, the deen that came from the Sama where the ancestors are, you are your ancestors, you are the ancestors for the next generation, because you are the last of the ancestors on this dimension. But wat het jy geonthou van die ancestors? Hoe close is jy na die authentic vibration of the spiritual connection? That is only cultural. It's only cultural. It's not religious. 99% of our people are cultural. They are not religious. It's religion that separated people. That word, religion, was not used in our culture. We also het altyd gebruik die woord deen, because meme en dere het altyd gesê, die religion het 'n jinn in it. Religion, jinn, okay? Falamma janna alayhi al-layl. Dit sit jou in die donkerte. Die woord is die spel, wa idhibtala Ibrahima rabbuhu bi kalimatin fa atammahunna. Okay? Most of your religious leaders has failed. They failed the test. Okay? They failed the exams. Okay? Hulle het gaan copy and paste en gaan follow vir die Western media en gaan glo waarlik waar dat hy mense kan vir hulle speel tot na hy mense hulle vandag nog altyd speel. People, you can't change something on your outside, man. Don't you realize that you are all the time antagonizing the God gene that was still a little bit running and activating in you? You went and killed the God inside of you to go and fight the God that doesn't want to solve the problems outside. Okay? Where did you find that God? Who gave you that God? Why did you kill that God? Why did you show your children how useless God is out there? You went and put it in the frame where where the adversary had framed you into, and you can't change it. You can just say, change, free. You must free yourself. You have to find liberty here. Okay? Illa ibadakal mukhlasin. Those who could escape the psychological puzzle. Okay? Whether it is a professor, whether it is whoever, okay? It wasn't about how much you read. It was about how much you connected. Okay, your energy, where that came from. Could you enter into the heart, or were you stuck in the brain? Okay, listening to every other Karl Marx, but couldn't come into the true word that was planted by your forefathers. You kept on making other people that were dead great, and your own people that lives inside of your 3 billion cells in your body, hy's liewe, but because ons het gechemicalize it, we lost the spark, we lost the noor of it. Okay, so die soutvleis broers was die original part of us, because agter die poasa broers, dan moet sy moes skone vleis vroeg. Jo, in die poasa het ons nooit vleis geëet, die broers. Die tribe was not loving meat, man. We didn't like meat. Ons het nie eens 'n deep freezer gehad in ons tyd nie. Ons het net gekoop vir wat ons markeer vir dag. Biene koop, okay, biene vir vandag. Dit is hoe Allah gegee het vir ons elke dag risiko. Allah het nie vir ons in 1 maand gegee sommer risiko. Nee, ons het nie so geweekie, broers. Dit is hoe julle nou 30-day credit kry, because dit is hoe die digital lewe vir ons nou weg van ons natural Allah geneem het, uit ons Jannah geneem het en in ons Jahannam gesit het. Okay? So that's what ons win, broers. Meeste van ons is having a party in the Jahannam, but it's just getting an endorsement that is Sharia compliant, because it must a halal stempel. Okay? Remember guys, you have been groot koppe was aangesit hier, but it was deliberately ليميز الخبيث من الطيب. Allah says in his tweeted Jews سيقول السفهاء من الناس ما ولاهم عن قبلتهم التي كانوا عليها كل الله المشرق يهدي من يشاء إليه وذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا لتكونوا شهداء على الناس ويكون الرسول عليكم شهيدا وما جعلنا القبلة التي كنت عليها إلا لنعلم من يتبع الرسول ممن ينقلب على عقبيه. Okay, the tafsir that you understand and the interpretation from the Allah side is night and day, people. You are only understanding the tafsir, the kitab in the Jahannam. So you're making it easier for you to be alive in the Jahannam while you use that ayahs to give you some kind of a relief. But you know in your subconscious that you are pulling the right. Okay? It's just how it is. When you are in the Jannah, you read the Quran, the opposite of what you understand the Quran. Okay. Now, in this last 6 years since COVID, since 2020 till 2025, this is now the 6th year. Everything was created in 6. So wat die roeg uitgetrek gewees het, toe sy nou nuwe roeg, wat in Allah says, "O kalladhi marra ala qaryatin wa hiya khawiyatun ala urushiha." Okay. So you as a civilization in the timelines that you are, those of you who were given the upgrade, they are now running in the new now and not in a past tense. Okay, that sentence spelled you into a past reality that don't exist but in death. Now, for the first time in your collective minds, you have no excuse to tell God that there was a reset, because there was a past and there is now a present. Okay. Now that which was part of the past don't exist in your psychology anymore, because it is just between two ideas. It's from one idea to another idea, which makes it history. But that is his story. That's not your story. Your story is being undisclosed because you are following an idolatry God. You are following an idolatry lifestyle. You have found an artificial God. Okay? Prophets, Bruce. Prophets. Julle prophets is die prophets. Okay. So what you need to understand now met die lekker dinge wat nou gaan uitkom, die lekker pastei met die eiere op, okay. It was unique. Guys, taking kidney. You know, also bodies now, like for Ramadan, as soul tribes, I'm telling you, the soul tribes for 1,000,000 years, their lifestyles, how they know, they don't fear death because they know death is an illusion. But you are still stuck in the prison because you wanted to take a gap year, okay? So in Ramadan, it's the month that we spend the least amount of money. It's the month that we spend the least amount of petrol. Everything becomes natural in Ramadan. You know, you don't break your fast because it's iftar. Yani, you live on your body's natural cycle. Okay, because the heavens is giving you to align again with the natural cosmic, yani, watch. Okay, the time holder, the internal compass. Okay. So you eat a third of what you ate before Ramadan and after Ramadan because you look forward because this thing is gonna bring you again. Hy gaan alles weer in sy plek sit nou. Hy gaan nou sommer die liver lekker polish. Hy gaan sommer nou die intestines sommer lekker uitsoot, lekker die mags gaan nou sommer blinga binne. Hy gaan sommer die kidneys sommer lekker yani kawas. Hy gaan die longe sommer lekker yani opblaas. Hy gaan alles regmaak, broers, en hy gaan vir jou mooi maak because hy kan net mooi wees van binne buite man. Daai wat julle moet nou opsit goed is hier by en die kinders wat nou moet goed is hier onder sit, broers. Dis mens van die artificial gods binne in julle man. Daai is die Kaumilut. People. I hope so much you must understand what is happening in this dimension. Yeah. Okay, we just get ourselves excited because we love our tribes, we love our city, Cape Town, Medina to Kaap. You only know your city because of what your enemy that invaded you, that came from far to give you a story so that you can make him feel like he's the hero and he's the one that is still governing in your city because he brought you the gods. Okay. Whether it was John, Van, Rayba, okay, you don't know who these people are. You don't know what happened at the Spanish Inquisition in 1492. You don't know why they came this way of the world, okay? So this is the ages that you had to decode and understand what was between the ribs and not between the lines, okay? You don't need intelligent people. You're going to need honest people. The honesty is on the inside, not on the outside. Your knowledge is internal, it's not external. That is only scientific speculations that is all the time being revalidated and updated, and then the past concepts are being invalidated. Okay, you know how it goes, right? So, yeah, I was telling you about the soul tribes. I'm going to finish off now because I have to do some work. I'm going to kyk, Bruce, because vanaand, after many, I've been now about almost more than a year that I hasn't been out yet for that ritual. That's a ritual in our culture. Because if you understand who you are only your conscious, okay? Now, if you know what it is to view a light that is in the dark, okay, then you are realizing that energy is giving you plasma. Okay, it's a plasma screen. The moon is not a planet as what you guys have been misled by your adversary. Okay, if anybody would have gone to the moon once, they would have been doing it 1,000,000 times by now. Okay, 1969, it's the 6 and the 9. It was the reverse psychology that was implemented on you. Daarvoor het hulle ons gekry die gilap en die grana. En ja, wat Imam Harun Khamenei in 1969, it's before I was born, well before I was born. But as soul tribesmen, we carry this in our genes, people. We carry it. We take this into the Jannah, Yani, because it's all in your genetics. It's in your vibrations. It's in your frequency. It's in your channel. It's in your quantum field. That's where you live in conscious. There's where you can't die. Okay. Now, what was I wanted to say? Oh yes. The Ramadan, yani for the soul tribes, the Ruh tribes, people that live through their hearts and not through their minds, okay? In this last 6 years, I wanted to tell you, is we had to detox from the artificial God, okay? Like many of you are caught up in an artificial God lifestyle, which you call a religion, Islam. Islam is whatever you are practicing is cultural, people. It's not endorsed directly from the heavens. It has been watered down. It has been badly mismanaged, and the spirituality doesn't exist. There's no essence in it. As no net, hy's halal, okay, hy gaan nie pak vat van. As iemand anders gaan nie pak vat die jy vat die pak because jy lose all the time your sanity and your conscious connection with Allah. Yeah. The Salah in this time we're going now is a different module of what you think Salah should have been when the prophets really came, the real stuff, not the prophets in the heart, okay? The Rasul, no? Also, you can't imagine, julle dink, julle moet 'n bietjie slim wees. Wat Allah sal nie vir julle wil gee by die Rasul nie. Hoekom gee jy net vir een nasie? Julle glo dat die Arab is die Yahud van julle nasie, because hulle is die chosen nation. Daarvoor glo julle die Yahud rule die wêreld, because julle weet nie, julle belief system sustain. Die Arab en die Yahud is een in die storie. Julle weet nie julle is neighbors nie. Anyway, dan mos dink hoe doen hulle niks te ander kant, because there's a setup. There's a story. There's a game. If you're not a player, then it's best that you remain a spectator and not a speculator. Okay? At the moment, most of the spectators are playing the game in favor of the Iblis. Yes, all of your conscious, most of our conscious contributions are being harvested energetically by your adversary. You have the only one that has hate. Your adversary don't have hate. You are calling for people's death. Your adversary is not calling. Julle glo dinge wat julle nie gesien het nie, man. But because it's bionically transferred and Allah wills it that jy jouself moet verloor. Yudillu may yasha. How does Allah mislead you? By making you more blind and more complacent. Okay? Because everything is just inside. Your body gaan nie saam met jou nie. Because jy is your body nie, but you have been instoned as Fir'aun. Yani, al-yawma nunajjikum bi badanikum litakuna ayatil liman khalfak. You are the Fir'aun that is the badan, that you are instoned in something which you cannot leave now. Irji'u ila masakinikum. Go back to where you believe that was a reality because you couldn't get the escape route. Okay? This is the truth. This is the lingua franca of the Quran. Okay, it's not about professors. This thing is not being managed by where it is being sustained from a physical world. It is always been there. The truth is in plain sight. It's just we have been captured by another civilization. Okay, and no one dares tell you the truth because they will endanger their family. They will endanger their income. They will endanger their entitlement, their status, their jobs. As almal illusional gotte wat julle bymekaar is om te protect en dan glo julle dis die waarheid. Plus, besop wat hulle doen met julle. Julle weet nie met wat hulle doen met julle. Ons forefathers, that is why our moon, die moon story, die maankyker story is diep in ons families, broers. Baie diep. Het kom al van die tyd voor the Arab found and created this prophet and prophecies. Voor die tyd wat hulle daai. Want nou niemand het niks gesien nie. Niemand het gesien vir Jesus nie. Niemand het gesien vir Abraham nie. Is almal dead stories, okay? That is buried in the Dead Sea, okay? In the deserted area. So they're having us for dessert. Now, it all comes down to, man, how you can navigate out of this mess that you have found yourself in after you destroyed your God concept and your God definition, which you and I are in denial of. But wanneer het kom na die maankykers, broers, die lig is binne, nie buitekant. Die lig is in die donkerte, nie in die lig nie. Verstaan? Nou, meeste van ons glo in die Son God. Daarvoor roep ons dit die Son of God. Okay? That is meeste hoe die mythology of the Jesus kind of magic gebeur het in julle lewe, because julle het net gemaak van Mohammed 'n nuwe identity van 'n Jesus, the Son of a God, because God is meer liewer vir Mohammed as hy is vir Jesus. That is mos 'n game, man. The genocide, jinn on the side. That's where you are. So it's important for you to make recognition that you are a jinn tribe. It's very important because the jinn tribe are those that are still stuck in their physical corpses and they are subjects of the corporations because they are dead. They cannot feel the truth that lives within. Okay, hulle is egotistically jailed. Okay, hulle is in jails. Now, in this month of Ramadan, the benefits, the qadr that we find as the soul tribe is that we get upgrades like you won't believe it, like the new apps that has been now discharged for us to understand another 1,000 years of a landscape of a civilization, giving you the 7 folds in that 1,000 years, how you must see to your next 7 generations that they cannot commit the shirk that you people are doing. Jy kan nie vir julle, ons kan nie saam visie, die natural split moet kom, die Furqan, die Yawmul Fasl, die Miqat, it's all here now. We are now migrating. This is the hijrah that you were always speaking about. That was nooit 'n hijrah in 'n Jahannam, mense. That was 'n hijrah van die Jahannam na die Jannah physiologically. And it's in your time, it's not in the past because the past don't exist, man. Okay? Hy is so diep ons is in gevangete. Okay? We need minds. Allah is the mind. La tubsirul absaru wa huwa yubs. The only way that you can see clear is through Allah's lens. But only Allah lets you see. That's what we call the muhsin. It's most Islam, Iman and Ihsan. Okay? Once jy kry jou regte lenses wat jy kan lees, die boek, die pad, die maan se lig, daar was ons maankykers. We are from the moon since the beginning. You can't have a relationship with a celestial body if you're not having origins from that star. Okay? So te kry mense wat aanbid die son. Most of the religions are fire worshippers because they live in the physical. They are captured in the physical. That's where they call the Iranians the Majus, because that is how they use the physical emphasis of keeping the Arab Peninsula and the world at large. You don't understand the games. Don't understand the games. You don't know who's behind the games. Okay? Where you think somebody is the enemy of people, when the TV goes off, dan praat hulle agter in die kamer. Julle weet mos nie hier hoe die hele game werkie, man. Okay? It's not a conspiracy. It's how the game of life is. But it's just what you believe, you see. So now the soul tribes at this moment in our lives, mashallah, tabarakallah, the soul tribes, they know by close precision on the cosmic times, what time it is in the heaven. According to the Quran, look, the only book that gives us the precise time of what the heavens are, what is happening in the different stages of heavenly ascensions, is that she gives the different the visionaries, of course, the ru'ya, وَلَقَدْ Ya Ibrahim, qad saddaqta ru'yaka. They are now where we find true visionaries. Not Mandela people. Daar is nie 'n visionary. Daar is nie 'n visionary nie. Van jou tribe, van jou eie mense. Moenie ander mense gaan maak nie. As daar 'n mistake gewees het, dat jy gebore gewees het in jou ma se mag, dan yani en jy is nou 'n abortion van jou cultural yani inhabitants, okay, your cultural wisdom, your cultural reality, your cultural spiritual eternal yani life modulation, how you live in Jannah, okay. Your tribe has to tell you this, not your religion. Waar kan iemand anders vir jou gaan sê, you're not going to be with another nation or another species in Jannah. You're going to be with your tribe, your soul tribe. That is how you know how to live in Jannah, because you understand the laws that governs the Jannah. Not sunnat, not the sunnahs that you made yani, in this world, yani, a sunnah. That's not the sunnah of Allah. We exchange Allah's sunnah and put a human being sunnah in. Okay? But that's why you don't know Allah, because you don't know the sunnah of Allah. You only know a man that you don't know is dead. Okay? So you can imagine what psychology is going to be downloaded on the Ghulamun Alim, that Allah destroys his parents because he's going to see it for the smartness, intelligence Muslim. Okay. So at this stage in our evolution as soul, yani migrants, okay, immigrants, daarvoor is hulle besig om almal te migrate en almal in prison te gooi. Your external culture, you must understand who your Fir'aun is and what he is impacting onto your conscious realm since you have not woken up. Okay, so he occupies you and gives you your word spells because you don't have an organic language even anymore. You don't understand how your mother taught you a language without a book. Okay. All those natural senses you have now forfeited, and therefore you give your child that phone that idolizes a new God. Okay? Yo, dit sê wat as julle moet regtig weet wat aangaan hierson, dan wil julle weggeloop van julleself. Dit is so bad dit is. Okay? Maar ons hou maar net die blink aan bo buitekant sodat alles lyk okay. But is vrot, broers, is gevaarlik vrot, it stink. Daarom moet ons vrygens kry in die padkamers. So when the soul tribes comes now to where we are currently in our lives, yani, we know that this was the end of the road for the past age if you did not find the new ruh. وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ كُلِّ الرُّوحِ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّ. That body that died, a new body came and a new ruh. And كل الروح من أمر ربي وما أوتيتم من العلم إلا قليلا. Only a few of us was given life, people. وقليل يعني ثلة من الأولين وقليل من الآخرين. From the beginning, who knew Allah till the end, who ended up knowing Allah, as daar gewees 50, dan is dan net 20 om. Okay? Die ander 30 het verloor. Okay, la yanaluhu ahdi al-zalimin. Okay, now the soul tribes has to, what is their format? Okay, we have to realize that we cannot look back anymore. Okay, once die imam af van die mimbar geklim het op Labarang dag, broers, dan kan ons nie meer takbir maak nie. Dan stop die takbir. Die imam kan nie meer takbir maak nie, maar ons gebruik maar nou net tot na agter Asr om te maak takbir, but by rights die regte ding is, once die imam afklim, dan is dit oor, because dan kom ons in die Ashhur al-Hajj, dan is samaan nou praat, nie onder nie. Kyk hier, as jy moet betaal vir Allah 100,000 om te vergifnis te kry, dan is hy God baie lief vir prophets. Okay? And knowing 99% van mense sal nooit kan dit afford nie. So die God is net vir die ryke mense. Okay? So we've already killed the God that you are still finding validity in the heavens. We are speaking of advanced civilizations now. We're not going to go back to where the darkness is, waar ons nog klippetjies gooi, waar die klippetjies eintlik 'n boel is. Dis die اذهب فإنك رجيم. Daar is die rajam, guys. Daar is die marjoom. وإلا يعني ترجموكم يعني أو أعيدكم في ملتهم. Right? It's how you are consciously engaging with the collective because you are living in one body. Every body that lives, that is alive, is inside of you. Okay? Nothing is on the outside. The things that you dislike is within you. It's the things that you disapprove of yourself that you cannot address. You cannot confront it because you are weak. You could not come inside. Okay? Now you're blaming everybody else, but you don't know that person. You'll never meet him. You just saw a movie and now you hate the motion. That's the simulation that God told you about. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Allahu Akbar. Now, as the soul tribes now reunites, okay, in this new dispensation, this is a new, from today onwards, subhanallah, we are out of the 4 year. This was a heavy 4 year. Yani, there was a lot of things that had to be cleansed, people. Also, vele stinke beliefs, wat ons elke dag net wil, perfume of net fragrance in die toilet sit, dat niemand kan ruik hoe vrot is dit daar binne nie. Ons moet skoon gemaak het alle goedes, broers. Kasam. Not only for us, for our next generation, because ons realize die mense gaan ons leities vat in 'n ander move. Dis nie vir ons nie. Yani sukran, nee, ek gaan nou af van al die geld. Ek gaan nie meer glo in hy geld nie. Hy gaan nie vir my wie sê Allah sal vir my gee, wat ek markeer, nie wat ek wil hê nie. Okay? That's addictive programming that you've been on and that God had overwhelmed your lives. That's why is julle ge-worry. Wat gaan julle kinders qualified wees? Hulle moet 'n inkomste hê because that's nie God nie, man. That's nie God nie. Ons control die God. So all that we had to now diffuse in the tribe, in ourselves also, and get that invasions out of our blood streams, out of our blood vessels, okay? Get back into the organic streams, get back into the natural order, get back into the alignment, get back into the calibration. All of that things, it only happens inside. Niks gebeur buite kan nie, is nie die simulation wat julle glo, wat gemaak het vir julle nou, in stone. Julle kan nie julle self separate van die, hy is hoe die ego vir julle nou gemeld het in hy. Hy is hoe Allah Ta'ala moes nou, in die Koran sê, los vir hulle. Ek gaan vir hulle gee 'n lekker present, right? It's got nothing to do with your religion, it's got to do with your conscious levels, basically. Okay, so come on with enige religion. Religion is not going to stop you if you're conscious, okay? But if you're unconscious, then religion is not going to help you, okay? Religion is just a spiritual injection. It's a ritual injection, okay? Where you deposit it in different centers of the world, where whichever religion it is, this is part of the sunnah of Allah Ta'ala. Okay? Doesn't make you right or wrong. The Buddhists are right, the Hindus are right, the Christians are right, the Jews are, everyone is right here, people. No one is wrong. It's just who manipulated the system at the end that captured your energy. Most of your energies you think is going to Allah, it's going to the Iblis. Okay? Because that's the God that you have now found undiscriminatively after the old God that was killed. The God that turned the Iblis. That is your footnote for that. That is also footnote. Okay? So now that you are now in this spiral, the soul tribes, I must explain to the soul tribe. Ek het nog gehad vir die mense, wat weet jy wat, Allah sê altyd, ja Ibrahim, a'rid an hada inna laysa min amalun ghayru salih. So there's no way, as much as you want to help those who you want, you have a feeling, you have a care, I can't change the conditions, okay? Even though I grew up with him, even though I lived my life with him, this is the firaq, this is the change of the gods, okay, yeah? So this is where you will now calibrate with your soul tribes. Jy gaan nou ken mense van hulle hart af. As jy jou suster kan nou wees, jou ma kan nou wees, maar hy gaan wees jou regte tribe, die mense wat eintlik is, wat gemeen is vir jou vir ewig, they're going to come into your lives now. You attract them. The laws of the Sunnatullah fil ard is the laws of attraction. People misuse it in the Jahannam, but in the Jannah, it's natural, people. Your understanding of your of Jannah is your conscious awakening. That's your Jannah. Okay, that's Jannah, not a physical place, not a place where you're going to have a party. It's a place where you're going to be, you're going to be nature friendly. You're going to be nature, a steward of the nature. Okay, you're going to be the part of the mechanisms of nature. Okay, because you are nature and Allah is nature. Okay, and it is the natural laws, the natural sunnahs that you will now in this age, once again after we had parted from it, those hermetic laws will come back into your presence. Okay, the law of abundance, the law of polarity, the law of equilibrium, the law of balance, the law of attraction. All these laws, you must learn these laws if you want to go to Jannah. Because as a parent, like, daai wat julle nou aanvang, it's not going to help you. The season has changed. You got to understand yourself. You got to find your God. You got to know your God. You got to know your God now. Okay? This is real, people. This is not speak and bunches. Okay? Daar was ons so lief vir ons voorvaders, Bruce, because once you clean the house, once you know where you are from, once you know you are an ancestor for the next generations, then you know that your ancestors had planted inside of your evolution, whether you came here into earth already many times, many lifetimes, if you are from the organic First Nations of the mother city, okay, the Ummul Qura. That's the Ahlul Bayt, okay. People, there's a lot of secrets that we have, but we can't tell it to you. We can't do this because it's going to hurt the natural process. Okay, it's all in the nature. Okay, whilst we are going to now erect the Baytul Nur, which we already did. Okay, the age of Baytullah and the age of Baytul Nur is two different conscious timelines. Okay, where the idols are now in a cube of 360, where you idolize it each day of the week. Okay, that's become an idolatry. What do we call this now? In heaven, in conscious, in psychology, it's become an idolatry. What do you call this now? It's become Fir'aun's synagogue. Okay, that's Fir'aun's synagogue. The physical, the materialism, the consumption, the money, the blood, the sex. That's where you lived and you made it halal and haram. That as what you feel is the best thing for you to do in Jahannam. Okay? Understand that there's only two places in reality, Jahannam and Jannah. You don't find Jannah when you die, you find Jannah when you wake up. Okay? When you are consciously awakened by the heavens. Okay? But the ancestors, I must tell you this, the ancestors are, and you can't divide. If you didn't grow up with the ancestors, okay? If you were not reared by their hands, as hulle nie vir jou lekker, sommer lekker uitgesoek het die broers. Hy valaka. Ja, salam, het alles opgemaak, broers. Okay? Hoe het ons geshare het met mekaar, hoe het ons gewoon het in, gebly het in garages, in Islamse skole. It was weird stuff. But it was natural stuff in our time. Ons het gegaan saam na skool in 'n kompuis by Antimuna Raham, okay? In die Sotrafie. Dan het ons weer op sy gegaan Stigman Road toe. Dan het ons gegaan na Darul Ilm toe, daar wat die Imam Zain gewees het. Ons het baie plekkies gegaan. Okay guys, daai is die culture, daai is die soul tribe, daai is hoekom ons weet wie is Tuang Malik Abdul Malik, Tuang Abdul Qadir Al-Haq, Tuang Hassan. We know these things because we know them from the fact that they were always part of the soul tribe. They didn't come over the sea. They were always here. We were meant to walk with them. We still walk with them. Okay? But because you got the division of the two-state solutions that you are fighting now for liberation, that your psychology don't realize that you had to find your soul tribe. You had to find your path. Okay? That was the bonus wat Allah vir julle gegee het, wat Allah gestuur het vir die COVID mos. Verstaan julle? Maar julle was mos nou bangbroeke, toe haloop julle mos weg van Allah. Toe wat moet julle return van julle investment wees? En vir julle self wat is julle doen. Kyk, die lekkerste parte van die digital internet is that I don't know who's seeing me and you don't know who am I. And this will stay like this. We will never pass. We will pass each other maybe one day in the road, but we will not know. The soul tribes in this age, how do they communicate? They communicate telepathically. This was the original way. Hoekom het Allah nie vir ons geleer taal? Because ons het altyd gehet lisan en Arabian mubin. You move through, if you see your kind inkom, en weet jy op sy gesig, op sy energy wat hy inkom. Jy was nou besig met something nonsense weer. Jy was weer bietjie stout geweest. You can sum up the situation. What tells you that that's what you call telepathic communication? You already pick up the energies that is in the room. It's in the situation. En already van die as die vrou se mond so hang, dan moet jy weet hoe Here sakke gaan koop dat die vrou weer kan oplig. Niet joking. But what I'm saying here is that is how the original, before the artificial business came, where we became. Originally, die ma en die pa, die husband en die vrou is een, because hulle het al gehoord een in hulle mind nou, man. Okay? Hulle energies is on one path. That's how, hulle hoef nie met mekaar te praat, hulle kyk nie mekaar in die oog. Dit is wat die liefde is, wat daar gewys het, wat ons weet. Hulle is nie net, temporal beings here, hulle is daar vir ewig. Okay? The connection between the children and the mothers was extraordinary, people. Ons as a tribe, as a members van tribe, sal ek nie sê, ons kan nie glo ons maas is dood. Wallahi, because ons sien aan ons maas elke aan in ons trou en ons drome. Ons maas moet vir ons boodskappe bring, ons moet sweet, staan weer nonsens aangevang al. Hoekom doen jy? Hoekom hoor jy nie? Our mothers don't die, people. Ons killed our mothers, man. Because ons praat nie van hulle nie, ons laat nie vir hulle acknowledgement gee nie. Daar is al die dinge wat ons doodgemaak het. Innaka mayitun wa innahu mayitun. You got your scientific religion embodied into another religion. Julle is in a scientific religion because julle weet nie wie julle is nie. Okay? It's not what you see, it's what you feel is what you see. You feel your mother, you see your mother, guys. Because your maat vir jou eerste gevoel, daar is die psychology wat Allah gesit het op jou motherboard. Okay? But since you went and took Aristoteles and al die goetetjies, die Griekse goetetjies en die goetetjies en die Syrians en die Arabe en die Romans en die Egyptians, Allah het 'n mistake gemaak in die wêreld. Niemand is meer slimmer as jou ouers en jou voorvaders en jou ancestors. Dit is gemaak om mee te wees. Julle is die mees slimste tribe as julle weet julle is. Die maankyker tribe is 'n tribe wat verstaan en loop in die hemels. Daarvoor is ons moeders. Hulle het vir ons gesê wat die sterre bedoel, broers. Hulle het gesit op die stoep in die aande. Dan praat ons maas en ons members en ons deres met mekaar. Hoekom die Neptune en Jupiter en maar hulle het nie gebruik die Christen woorde nie. Hulle het gebruik hulle eie woorde en hulle het hulle stories opgemaak. Faksusil qasas. Okay? That's how you must know your people. You can't be alone. Where you come from, you must go to. So you must work on the mythologies. Moenie work on the foreign mense se mythologies. Die gaan vir julle neem. Het gaan vir julle los waar julle is in die Jahannam vandag. Julle is in die donkerte because julle weet nie wie julle is nie. En julle kom van 'n hoë graad van DNA. Nou as Allah Ta'ala die planets weer, die nuwe planet nou like upgrade, like die Najm al-Thaqib, die Tariq, whatever julle wil roep. You are a civilization that denies astrology, but you believe in astronomy. You can't have astronomy if there's no astrology, but because you are so reversed in your engineering, that your logic is not even any more logic, it's now artificial intelligence. Okay? But be that what it may, we must just maintain that there is a soul tribe with a very, very sharp mind. A very, very sharp mind. Okay? Allah pick you up without you speaking because they pick up your energy. People. They know exactly, no, this is not our beat. This is not our stream. They're not here to promote themselves. They're not here to market themselves because they are already in Jannah. Why must they go out of Jannah to go and market something which it's not their work? Nobody can call people into the Jannah because Allah is enough, people. Allah is enough. As amper soos Allah nie slaap van nou moet ons Allah se werk doen. Julle is in die Jahannam caught up in that one. What happened in the past is net geseker getry om vir mense in die bakke te hou. But if you from the soul tribe, sê was my elke donderdag gaan in die gadat, elke jaar is in die Makkah om jou gats te doen, elke Ramadan is it, because daai was die tyd om daai te doen. Nou is die tyd gechange because die Allah het gedraai die iblis, bros. Nou moet ons mos nou 'n nuwe die chapter opslaat, maar julle is nie able om te loop die padjie nie, because julle het niks preparation gemaak vir die journey ahead. Verstaan? Nou kan julle nie loop nie, nou moet julle maar follow iemand anders, because the fear, Allah didn't take the fear, Allah planted the fear deeper into your heart. فَأَنزَلَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الرُّعْبَ. Allah put fear in their hearts, right? So that fear comes in different forms, like your liver, it's filled with anxiety. You cannot shake the liver out of the anger that you live in, the hatred, the despair, the anxiety. It's all fostered in your liver. Okay? That's the place where Allah says, Maghdubi alayhim. Okay? You are living in a body, like I told you. You just don't know which organ of the body you are. You don't know which nation is the stomach. You don't know which nation is who gets the command, the Amr. Okay, the Ras, okay? Your whole body is divided into 7 major organs, okay? And then there is 5 points, okay? That's how the Quran tells it. I cannot explain more than what I should explain. It's wrong. I cannot give you the answers like that because this is not how the system works, okay? But I was trying to give you like how you visualize life, okay? How your organs that was natural in your mind. Look, your organs is in your mind, and that serves a purpose, and it activates on a certain meridian where if it is in her fully blown purpose, and she is healthy, she is wealthy, she has her strive, okay, then she guides you. That energy guides you because you're in harmony now. You're speaking to the cosmos is speaking to you because everything is happening inside of you, people. That's when you live in Jannah, people. That's your uncovering of Jannah, okay? What you were told about Jannah, that's in the dark age, that's in the gevangenis, okay? It's the truth what I'm telling you. Allah, this is the very truth I'm telling you. You were prepared, your soul tribes prepared you for it. They prepared us, they put it in our eiers, in ons so moeders het gelyk die geel van die eie in die melk klit, so dan bring hulle op leemag, okay? Hulle bysteek, but they are a moon tribe, hulle genoem as die maankykers because hulle het die lig gesien in die donkerte. Sy kan nie die lig sien nie, broers. Sy kan maar gaan kyk van watter engel, as sy nie gesien het die lig binne, as die lig binne aan die in is, dan gaan sy nie die lig buitekant sien nie. Dit is hoe die natural order van Allah werk. As jou lig in jou hart aan is, dan gaan jou lig in jou mind nie vir jou kan sê die waarheid. Nou in die sessie was julle minds remodule, wire en condition, en julle moet gevind het die waarheid in julle hart. That is hoe die soul tribes werk, okay? To be in your heart is to be in Jannah. To be in the heart is to be in the eternal. You can't find eternal in something which is mechanically engineered. You can only find it in something where nobody can touch their hands, okay? The heart has its own mind. The heart has an akal. That's the real akal, not the funny thing you do. Die akal van die hart is wat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gee vir jou, die methodologies, die mechanism om het te unpack, okay, to read that book of life, okay. That is now when you are in Jannah. There you get all the privileges. There is a business class business, guys. That's like going to where you need it to be. And you will discover how a fraudulent system, Jahannam, where we are currently still living in, how they are exercising fraudulent prophets, fraudulent prophecies, and fraudulent gods which you call Allah. وإذا سألتم من خلق السماوات والأرض ليقولن الله. And if you ask him, wie het gemaak jou lewe, who's in charge, dan gaan jy sê, nee, Allah. Maar hulle self weet nie dat hulle het gemaak al 100 keer maatskappy met hy God. Because, yeah. So, in this last, I'm going to end it now. In this last, this is the end now. We're not coming back again after this Ramadan. We finished now. We're going now. We've done our purpose to bring out the warnings in the energy, in the cosmos. Okay, we have to, because we are the last of the ancestors in the land. Okay, now we are used by the ancestors. More quickly, I just have a call coming in, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Are you guys, is the guys that's coming now for the Ma'ankekerai, mashallah. This is, when we were since young in this country, since always, they have to go and welcome the light, because this light, today's light, this is the fact. This is where we know as soul tribes that our conscious has been given a new conjure of a reality that was attractive to our level of spiritual awareness. Okay, we understand conscious people. We don't understand the Jahannam. Antum a'lamu bi shu'uni dunyakum. We don't understand the fake world. Ons het nog nooit geperfect the understanding of it, because we know it's an illusion. Why do you want to fall for something that was going to be taken away from you? You can never own anything, but you come under the illusion and speculation that is yours. Nothing will ever be yours. So now what we do for our soul tribes, those that Allah upgraded, look, we don't do a trying to promote a certain way of life, a certain cult. No. It's only the soul families, those who were with us from the beginning, 5,000 years ago, and made it 5,000 years later. They are only the tribe that gets out, because never is the truth popular, people. The truth is unpopular. Those who wants to believe real, they will be rejected in the Jahannam. If you think you are loved because you are in Jannah, then you are in the wrong place. Okay? You can't live in both places. You can't have two hearts. So most of us are residing in Jannah. Most of us, our psychologists. Okay? It's nothing better than the truth now. You have to keep to the truth. Whether it's against you, if you don't want to say the truth, don't say the word. People, if your wife asks you a question and you're going to say a lie, rather not say the lie. Rather remain quiet. Don't say the word now. You are in alignment in this time of your civilization. You are in alignment with the most potent truth that will go. If you say the lie, it will immediately expose your situation. That's how effective the system is now. You will go down immediately now. Okay. This is the new baby. You're a new baby. You're a new world. You're a new order. That's why your adversaries are trying to harvest your energy at this moment in time, because they know that once they capture the first generation, they got the entire 7 generations down the line. That's where you are as a civilization. But you have to go through a very, the soul tribes, if you must understand what the soul tribes has to do in order to come back into the natural order, yani if the KGB, the CIA, the M5, whoever, if they must really know, they will, yani they will, if Allah don't protect them, they will not make it in this dimension. Okay, that's the things that they have to do in order to rid themselves of the shirk. Okay, wallahi, billahi, Quran, I'm not lying to you because I know the internal stories. I know what's happening. I understand what's happening. Okay, but Allah's qudrat, of course. And what we must be very proud of our khalifas, our mimas, our maulud jamaats, our Hadat en ons manweke en tydgoedes. Oh, broers, tyd vir ons gehou waar ons is vandag. Regtig. Ons kan enige plek in die Jannah loop because daar's wat ons gaan kry een van ons voorvaders. Een van ons voorvaders gaan wees daar because van my werkslone wat hulle vir ons ge-intuited. Okay? As iemand wat dood is nou, wat jy nou sê is dood, vir jou iets leer en jy sê dit aan jou lewe, is die persoon nie lewendig in jou nie. Because hy het dit nog daar gesit. Maar nou as jy ding as jy wat het daar gesit het, dan gaan jy vergeet wie jy is. Maar as jy weet wie het daar gesit het, then you will always appreciate it. You will always make a dua for that, yani khalifa, hy imam. En sy gaan nie net vir hom maak, sy gaan maak vir almal die mense wat gekoos het vir hom na jou te bring. Hy is die beauty van die Jannah. Niemand is dood in die Jannah, is net wie jy decide om te assassinate. Okay? So this is the mutual lifestyle that the tribes live in, the deen of Allah, which is the deen al-fitra. That's not Islam. Islam means to submit to the natural order, okay? To submit to the natural laws of Allah. That's Islam, to submit, okay? And you have to get yourself into that combination where you now come to terms with the kufr and the shirk and the maatskappy and all this copper that you were given, okay, ali trophies, and then you take the path from there, because people, die waarheid is 'n bitterpil en 90% van julle is nie gemaak vir dit. Is nie gemaak. Only the soul tribes are little. They are very little, they're not much, because it's just that you are coming into an age that is a golden age, that if you know your story, your storybook, your lifestyle, you stand a good chance to upgrade your spiritual conscious levels as a human for your next generations, okay? Can't just think of yourselves today. So, yeah, if you could clean yourself from the shirk houses of the banks, the riba, alles is riba nou. As jy gemaak het iets uit niks uit en dan maak iemand het vir jou terugbetaal en van daar kom 'n value en van daar kom 'n intrinsic system, dan is hy gebuis originally op riba, okay? This is the illusion wat julle nou glo is julle sinne, because julle glo het julle kan dit own. You can't own anything you can't take with you. You are so undesired species. Now, if you realize that everything had become لا تأكلوا ربا أضعافا مضاعفة, okay? Don't go and take anything which is not yours, okay? And don't go and make a myth into a reality and believe it's yours, okay? That's how the illusion, that's why your children believe that, that soccer player, he earns 20 million rands a month. Ya Allah, let me become like him. That's the entertainment you freely gave them, and that is how they became mushrikun, okay? Because they believed in something that doesn't exist, and because you further endorsed it, okay? Now, look, we are here for akhirah, because we are in akhirah. We've left dunya. We are now in akhirah. Meeste van die predikante en die geloofmeesters is nog altyd gevangen in die gevangenis van die Jahannam. Allah het hulle nie laat oorkom, since this solar eclipse that happened yesterday at 12:13. Okay, we see in real time, man, because it's only dark on the outside. Everything you know is only happening inside of you, not outside of you, but it's how your energies has been manipulated that you can't see it for what it is. But the truth is in front of you. If Allah opens up your eyes to see the truth, you don't learn the truth. Only Allah is the truth. Allah is Al-Haq. Allah is the truth. And Allah determines what is truth for Him, not for us. Okay? You don't own the truth. When you had manipulated yourself, invaded ourselves, lost our roots, lost connection, lost gods, lost the real prophets, and that's where we became aliens to our nature. And now, subhanallah, this is the dichotomy now in our lives. Wallahi, billahi Quran. Those who didn't make it, people, Allah yarham. May Allah have mercy on you and on your ancestors. Yani, because your ancestors had really, really, really expected you to come over. Because so pakkie, so prys, so trofee, kry jy nie elke dag in jou lewe nie. Nou vir wat ons voorvaders deurgegaan het. Vir die swaarigheid wat ons moeders, ons gesiene, ons moeders deurgaan. Okay guys. Vir die oppression, vir die goedes wat hulle gegaan het en hulle het dit gepas, yani met flying colors man. Hulle het nie gedistrek gewees van die Jahannam. They were not taken in by the low temptations and distractions. No man, they really with little in their fingers and in their hands. Hulle dan gemaak hy pastei vir ons en hy kapiteet en hy gentere. Hoe kan hulle dit gedoen het? Omdat Allah Ta'ala vir hulle gegee het what was the essentials wat hy masjid makkeer om het te hou, yani wholesome. Okay? Dit is hoe wat ons het en ons het nog altyd en hy gaan ons nou consolidate vir die tribe, even if it is 1,000 of the tribe. That's our need, but it's going to be the best of the 1,000. Really. Allah het gegee die reg dat ons gaan lekker agter hulle kyk, because hulle deserve it. Allah is nie unfair. Allah is not unfair dat ons kan kry in nog 7,000 jare, 7 generations, inshallah, that will know how die voorvaders gevind het, hulle ancestors, en daar wat Allah vir hulle geplant het, in hulle Mubarak, yani art, nie in Palestine, nie in die false falam is, julle verstaan nie die game nie. 1948 is nie 1949. Is nie julle weet nie wat die tyd is. Okay? You fell in love with CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, julle tegen weet, hulle is een nadien. Kyk hierso op julle stoepe man. Kyk hierso, wat aangaan hierso. Hoe julle, hulle van julle eie mense, om te gaan gee vir ander mense. En julle eie mense het nie hierso nie. Right? So, as julle wil praat van geloof, praat dit buitekant, maar moet net in die Jannah praat, because in die Jannah ons nie die woord geloof nie, ons hoor nie die woord lief. Ons is lief vir mekaar. Ons kyk nie mekaar met die gesig, ons ken mekaar met die hart. Hy is wie ons is. Hy gaan ons nie laat los vir julle nie. Hy gaan ons nie laat los vir die nog nasie. Hy is geskenk van die hemels en van die ancestors, dat ons kan hou vir ons op die daraja. Because since meeste van julle weggehaal van die dood af, het die dood by julle toegekom. Okay? Allah give you barakat. Nou weer die tyd van die, wat ons nog gaan lekker regmaak om te gaan maak takbir. Die takbir is baie important, broers. Because die ancestors, die keer, sy sien, hulle was eers sad gewees. En die paas het hulle altyd gesê, as oomvaders en sy moeders, sê, as het kom nou, oula barang aan, heil memo, no? En memo is baie hartseer, because memo sien nog aan die dooie weer opgesluit. Die keer om het ons het nog opgemaak, vandaan maak ons die deur op, because ons gaan elke dag met die mense wees, because ons het nog gerealize, hulle is nie dood nie, ons maak vir hulle dood. Okay? So, tell your children about your grandfathers. Tell them about them. Please, kan hulle mee. Praat 'n bietjie saam met julle kinders, julle kleinkinders. Sê maar vir hulle van die mense wat Allah in julle lewe gesit het, wat een klein bietjie lekker in die khalifatjies, die muallimas, die lekker mense, die bitte breimal en te gakkiele en antilimale. Die mense wat lekker gemaak het, lekker. Okay? Sê vir julle kinders daarvan, moenie dood wees nie. Dit is waar julle yani short change julle eie. Okay? Mag Allah Ta'ala in people is a very rich time in our lives. Very soul for the soul tribes. Okay? You must come to terms when we speak now. We can't speak anymore about the conditions in the Jahannam because we're not in the Jahannam anymore. But we can see those in the Jahannam. Ek kan sien hy Maulanas wat in die Jahannam is. Ek kan sien hy predikante, glo julle my. Maar ek judge nie vir hulle. Wallahi, because ek vra Allah vir hulle guide. Nie dat ek bitter is, broers, ek is die laagste van die laagste, die worst van die worst. But I'm not going to mislead people because I know only Allah guides, not others guides. And I believe that 99% van mense is goed. Okay? But ons allow 1% van mense om vir ons te roep. Waar kan die predikant, die 1% van mense meer weet as 99% van mense? Wie sal nie waar dit weet die 99% of die 1%? Because that's what ons vir ons so die mekaar gemaak het, dat die governments, die religion, hulle is lief vir die religion because the religion help vir hulle om die mense aan die slaap te hou. Understand you? So this thing is not going to be left easily by the people that are now waking up in the Jahannam because we don't fight another person's fight. Fight because you need liberation. You need to get out of Jahannam. You are caught up in that mental constraints of an illusion. Okay? Since COVID, you were given 6 years. Allahu alladhi khalaqa as-samawati wal arda fi 6 ayyam. 6 Ramadans. Now, you can't, you know what, if you are in the real order of Jannah, if you are living in the Jannah realm, okay, the Akhirah realm, which you call it the post-corona, the post-mortem, the altered state of your conscious, okay, this is Akhirah, which you understand. It can't be given to the secularists because they have already secured a reality. It will be given to those who understand. That's why Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ. Sy moet verstaan wat Allah bedoel met Akhirah. Okay, daarvoor is we must baie lief vir ons vir Akhirah. We know where to find them because we're there with them. Okay, because we are not biological. We are metaphysical guys. We are conscious. Okay, the conscious is what moves. That's where the motion comes from. It's just the E gave you emotions, and that's how they attract you and distract you. Okay. Ek is dit net ek wil nou wel versier dit is van Muhammad. Nevertheless, may Allah Ta'ala, this is what I wanted to say to you people today. Because this is our last saying. Ons gaan nie weer op online agter dit nie. On my program. We want to wish each and every one of the Ummah, of the soul tribes and all of humanity. Ramadan didn't come just for the Muslims. It was in the sama, not on the earth. Okay, get that straight. Allah's laws doesn't govern you on earth. It governs you above because it's the energy and the season. Asumukum, dan het Allah het geoordeel. Okay, as Ramadan kom, is nie wat julle doen nie. Is die vrugte wat ons eet, dat ons weet te soeme. Nou as het Ramadan is in die sama, is nie omdat ons wegbly van kosie broers. Hy is die most, kleinste ding van die Ramadan. The Ramadan, the most biggest thing of Ramadan is what did you attract that was open in the garden of the heavens that you needed for your next generations that is coming when the heavens opened this bab, ayyaman ma'dudat. It was a confined, limited space. There was limited seats gewees. 99% van mense het nie ingekom nie, broers. I'm telling you the truth. They didn't come in. Hulle was nog altyd uit. Hulle het nog honger geraak. Hulle het gedink hulle honger senses is in hulle mag. Hulle het nie geweet hulle honger senses is in die samaan. Okay? You don't feel your stomach. You sense it. It's a sensor that picks it up because you live. Everything in your conscious is only real there, not down here. It is how it is being mismanaged and damaged that you now found yourself kabadan. Okay? That's how you now get clarity. That's how the clairvoyance comes. That's how death disappears now. That's all that you had to take out of the libraries of the Ramadan. Okay, ayyam ma'dudat. And when you were in the special place of i'tikaf, you think that to sit in a kitchen, Bruce. If I must tell you really, wallahi, thumma wallahi, the truth, yani, i'tikaf is never 10 days, people. I'm gonna tell you now on my experience. I think i'tikaf is like what I experienced. It was almost 5 years, man, continuously, people. And you have to fast most of the time. That time, you have to get yourself out of all the riba and credit and bonds and all that goedes, die ligtery, the fake institutions, the fake gods, the fake religions. You gotta wash yourself clean out of that because it's for you. It's not for someone else that you're doing it. And of course, for your generations, because jy is nou besig om jouself skoon te maak van shirk. Okay? Hy God wat julle call Allah, but hy sê Allah nie, hy is maar nou net 'n artificial ding wat julle kan trou. Okay? Nou en dit i'tikaf wat ons gemaak het in die Jahannam is maar nie grabbelste en brees. AI created all your ahadith. Take all the ahadith and put it in AI and see what AI does. It will make you another 50,000 ahadith. Okay? It's all just goes in your mind. Everything is just process. It's how it's how the universe has destroyed your past through. Okay? So that dungeons that we are living in of believing that, you know what, it's not true in the Jannah. I'tikaf in this time, and it was almost 5 to 6 years, guys. Kassa. It was a die i'tikaf, my God, ek het nog nooit gehoor i'tikaf is so lang gewees, but I can talk to you about it because I experienced it. Okay? It wasn't about staying in a corner or staying in a masjid. Die hele ard is a masjid wa ju'ilatil ardu masjidan wa tahuran, because you're not living outside, you're living inside of yourself. Okay? It's just when we came into this narrow, unconscious space, that's when we had to create a situation where we make the person feel that, okay, die Nabi het hy gedoen. People, julle gaan nooit 'n Nabi sien in die physical wêreld because julle moet hom vind in julle spiritual conscious wêreld. Okay? Guys, waar 'n Nabi woon, nooit gewys buite kan nie. 'n Nabi is in die Jannah. Okay? So once ons uit ons qabr uitkom, ons qabr is wanneer ons gevang is in die low end of our reality, on ons navel, and we can now come up and find the truth. Ons kan praat die waarheid. Okay? En dan kan iemand vir ons hoor, subject to be recognize ons tone, ons sound, ons lyrics, ons rhythm. Okay? That's how it works in reality, not in what UCT and UWC. Dis vir die dunia, dis on vir julle net aan die gang te hou. But because of AI now, 99% of your governments, of your work, everything, all your work is going to be substituted with AI. It's by now somebody tells you the truth here. Okay? So your technocratics are already now packing you since COVID, when you bought online and all that lifestyle was activated into your realm, and now they are just taking over the physical role of giving you the new money. Okay? The digital money, the Bitcoin. Now there's a massive fight happening in the conscious world here. Remember, we all live in a conscious body, in a one body. It's just many of us are unconscious, therefore we cannot apply in that parliament that is there. When something is raised, you can't hear it because you're deaf, you're dumb, you're blind. Okay? But if you are raised, your volume is raised, your frequency is raised, you will hear what they are doing and what they are doing against you. And that is how you just put up your wall, because it's no need about taqallub. Now it is ala aqibai. You got to turn your back because you can't change. If your mother is that way, you can't change it. If your wife is that way, you can't change it. If your daughter is that, you can't change it. You have to go on now because they were never your children. إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ مِنْ أَهْلِكَ إِنَّهُ عَمَلٌ غَيْرُ صَالِحٍ. This is how the dichotomy. It doesn't speak about becoming inhumane. It becomes that you think about your next 7 generation. If you will know, the soul tribes will know. They will know that. I don't need to explain that. They understand that part of this evolution and this journey. Um, and this is on this beautiful moment, we have returned to our fitrah. This is what we call fitrah. The Quran uses fitrah twice. فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها. Not fatara, fatara. Fatara. Not fatara. Fatara is artificial intelligence. Fatara is divine intelligence. Okay? Now those, most of us, iftara ala Allahi kadiman. Most of us, we create narratives which is belittling to Allah. It lies, it fabricates, it artificializes Allah's divine mechanisms and networks. Okay, so that is the fitra. Daar is waar die woord fitra kom van. Nou as ons kom na die einde van Ramadan, Ramadan vir ons is ayyaman ma'dudat. I'm going to say this Ramadan was about 6 years almost. It was a long Ramadan for us. Because finally kan 'n mens vandag uitkom after the eclipse of yesterday, that to say that, you know what, you can actually feel that there's been a shift in your directions, in your orbits, in your methodologies, in your mindsets, in your level of, in your ruh. You can feel it. It's natural. It's there. Okay? You gained it on yourself because you put the work in, people. Bloody butterball om te proe. Because meeste van die mense dink sy is mal. En dan dink mense weer, sy is brekerig. Dan dink mense, not that you know must think for others after this. Because when you crystallize, then you realize, maar hoekom dink sy vir ander mense? Hoekom dink sy, doen sy werk van ander mense se mind werk? Dit is jou werk. Okay? And then, that is how you now refine to mostly finding the true seekers and dwellers of your earth journey. Okay, the soul tribes is in for a beautiful experience, I can tell you, because now that they regain their fitra kry jy nie in geld in die soul tribes. Your fitra is your natural innate. It's your natural order. It's how you naturally. That's the fitra. Fitrat Allahi. Now, a fitra, gee jy in 'n vorm van geld, of course, because it's compulsory. Okay? Dit is wat hulle vir ons gesê het, tyd, en ons moet dit nou verstaan in 'n meer upgraded, updated, version of who we are. Okay? Die fitra, dat ons nou van praat, kan nie wees net eendag. Die fitra is elke dag. Is nou net die magic $1, die God, wat vir julle gegee het, net eendag. Because julle moet terug gaan Jahannam. Okay. But in die Jannah, elke dag lewe ons op ons fitra. Elke dag. Daar is nie 'n dag wat ons gaan sonder fitra. Because sonder fitra gaan die ligte af in die Jannah. En fitra is nie geld nie. Fitra is telepathic communication. Your energies, the energy, rizq is an energy, geld is an energy, kos is an energy, rent is an energy, lig is an energy, waarheid is an energy. It's all just energies. Love is an energy. But it's how you learn how to manipulate it, how to control it, how to preserve it. That's how you come to Jannah. That's how you come to understand what is Jannah and what is Jahannam. In Jahannam, you don't know these things. In Jannah, you know it. So those who are in Jannah, they can speak this thing because they know where they are, because they left their Jahannam and found the fitrah of Allah, the deen of Allah in the Jannah. You're not going to find it in the Jahannam. That which you are following, it's just ancestral mythologies and methodologies, how they safeguarded the tribe until we got to this final dispensation, which happens today. MashaAllah. So die takbirs vanaand, broers, moenie laat die ma en die pa maak vir mekaar. Julle kan nie mens maar nie pa moet maak, yani die soul tribes, as julle weet hoe ons 'n meme vir ons gebatser het, wat ons klein gewees het, die takbirs, ons 'n maat vir ons geleer die takbirs, nie ons pa nie, because sy ken vir Allah voor ons 'n pa vir Allah ken, man. Allah het dan lewe in haar gesit, nou hoe kan sy nie vir Allah ken nie? Nou hoekom moet sy nie vir julle sê wie Allah is nie? Because sy kan daai tune, sy kan dit praat. Dis hoe hulle die soul tribes, like, no, we know, ons gaan nie weg van Allah nie. En dis hoe raak ons so emotional op labarang aan en labarang oggend broers, because ons voel, yani ons moeders het vir ons gedeliver in die regte plek, en in die regte city, en in die regte tyd. Dis hoe ons dit broers. En dis wat vir ons maak so baie ryk in ons lewe, because ons weet geld was nog nooit yani asset. Ons weet dit was 'n liability as 'n mens nie het control van die energy daarvan. Dis die probleem. That's wat ons as 'n soul tribe gereturn het om te vat possession van die property, van die regte energy, en die sama. Dit wat jy onder is en niemand niks hier nie, hulle gaan nie vir julle 'n groot kop aan die binne. Okay? But Abu, as jy kry acknowledgement en jy kry die handover, dan moet jy weet, yani, they can serve your tribe with dignity and honor, inshallah. So may you have the most beautiful life ahead of you. May Allah give you everything that is truthful. Just stay truth. You don't have to be religious. Sê die waarheid vir jouself met hom. Even as dit moet whisper, but die waarheid is the most important. Even as dit against jou is, even as dit bitter is, hy gaan vir jou baie veel nie meer doen. Inshallah. Anyway, may Allah Ta'ala grant our forefathers and our great Khalifas, ons imams, ons ustadas, ons muallimas, ons great imams, antilan, Allahu Akbar. So, hulle was baie goeie mense, broers. Hulle was gevaarlike mense. Ons het plek soms gedink, hulle is Allah. So hulle self gedra het, wat ons noem, so is bang. Ons baie bang vir hulle gewees, broers. En die lekker memes wat so gemaak het, die lekker trifles en die goedetjies vir die tribe, May Allah Ta'ala grant them all love. We only love them. We can only transfer and deposit all our wealth in their accounts, because that's the least we can do. That's the least we can do for those pioneers and legacies and legends. And Allahu Akbar, proud moments for a tribe on earth to know who their ancestors are and who they are and how the next generations, with Allah's permission, is going to be awarded the royal rewards program that will be facilitated through the Al-Fitra, AASB, and the FinTech and credit bureau, inshallah. May Allah give you insight, people. May Allah give you insight. Much love to you and on this beautiful moment as we start this new journey to a new planet where we were dedicated to always find the light. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
يا مصطفى كل شيء